career coordinator at the Little Bit Foundation. And today, on behalf of our CEO, Miranda Walker Jones, as well as our whole agency, we'd like to welcome you to Virtual Transferable Skills Seminar, also known as VTS, here at McCluer Senior High School, the home of the Commons. So for my students here, please give it up for yourselves for letting us be here and being here with us. For all of you online, thank you for joining us and thank you for being there virtually with us. If you have any questions, once again, you know what the deal is. Put in the chat, make sure you ask your questions, and we'll make sure we get them answered. So our VTS is sponsored by Citi, and without further ado, just a little bit about the Little Bit Foundation. We're a nonprofit organization, and our mission is to break down the barriers to learning. So we make sure that all of our students across all of our 60-plus schools, it's about 17,000 students we serve a year. We make sure that they're good with all the essentials and necessary programming that they need. So we appreciate y'all once again for letting us be here. From our liaison, Mrs. Smith, thank you, and to you and your administration team for allowing us to be here and allowing us to, present this program here at McCluer today. So without further ado, I'm going to bring up our other college and career coordinator, Ms. Callie Ingram, and she's going to give you notes for today.
Good everybody. A few housekeeping rules. All right then.
All right, give it up for Ms. Callie Ingram once again. Thank you for that, Callie. So, like she said, online, please make sure you guys put your class rosters in and all your names and also questions as well anytime you have them. Out here in the audience, like I said earlier before we started, ask questions, raise your hands. No question is a bad question. They're here for you all. And just make sure you ask anything that you need to ask. So we're doing something a little different. We're doing a panel this time. Usually we just have one speaker and they're up here speaking. But today we want to bring you all a young professional board, young professional panel that are pretty much closer to age to you than you actually think. So they're out here doing their thing. So we want to make sure that they give you all the insight that they have coming out of college, still being in college, and things like that. So this is fresh out and figuring it out, college life after graduation. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to our panelists. You guys just introductions, tell them a little bit about yourself, and then we'll go from there. So without further ado, here we go.
Hello, everyone. My name is Precious Draper. I'm 22 years old. I graduated in 22. I am a realtor with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Select Properties, and I'm excited to be here with you guys. So go ahead and ask me questions, and I'm excited to help you, okay?
Hi, everyone. I'm Kaylin Moore. I'm currently in medical school. It's very hard. If you have any questions, I'm always here. I'm open. And I'm really excited to answer your questions.
Hi, you guys. My name is Denise Adams. I go to Harrisville State University, majoring in business administration. I am a senior. I'm also a licensed cosmetologist, and I do work with the Little Bit Foundation. I'm a program coordinator, and I'm 22 years old.
How's it going? My name is Leah Travis. I'm 22 years old. Oh, louder. Okay. I'm 22 years old. I graduated in 21, and currently, right now, I'm enrolled in Job Corps, currently doing the painting trade.
Perfect. So give it up for our panelists here that are here with us today. We definitely appreciate you all being here and being here for the students. So without further ado, we go jump into these questions. And like they said, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to raise your hands. Everybody in the chat, once again, put your questions into the chat and we'll get it going. So first question, how would you describe yourself in high school? Anybody can start, whoever wants to start.
I would describe myself in high school as one of the more quiet ones, kind of kept to myself, did the work, went home, didn't really do much of the whole after school activities thing. Just kind of really played games and did what I got to do to get out of there.
I would say I was very attentive and organized. I did run track in high school, so I like to do some extracurricular activities, but I'd say staying organized for sure kept me in the loop, and I was able to, graduate and make it to the end like you guys are. So,
I would say that I was kind of really popular in high school, but I was straight A student. I made sure I stuck and do everything I needed to do. People say that I was a teacher's pet, but
mm,
they didn't understand the connection I had with my teachers. So,
mm.
yeah.
I pretty much say the same thing. I was pretty much a B student as well. I think like as far as extracurriculars, I was involved with a lot of stuff. I was a plus tutor. I was in theater. I did sports. Um, it was just like I was pretty much involved in a lot of stuff. But like at the end of it, I was ready to get out of high school. I was ready to venture out and see the world.
Perfect, perfect. So, thinking back to that senior year, did you see that you were going to be in the position that you are now, or was there something else that you wanted to do when you were that age and at that point of your life? So, is it what you're doing now? Is that what you had planned for us when you were a senior in high school?
I would say no. My plan was to have my own salon and do hair. I'm not really doing hair as much as I was when I was in Chicago because I worked in a shop. But yeah, no, my career path has changed. So
I would say yes. I definitely was into real estate and I'm just into HGTV, but when I got into it, I realized it was the complete opposite. But I love what I do, and it's a learning process every single day. So I'm constantly learning. I know top agents that are still learning and still training. So it's important just to be open minded and teachable throughout the whole thing. hmm HGTV. Me too. I would say HGTV is all about production. It's like choose three houses to choose from, but people will take you everywhere. You have to be a chameleon to your client. So it's important that, you go with the flow and you allow things to happen, but it's not all cameras and things that you feel. And it's a process. You don't make a lot of money in the first couple of years, and you have to know that. So it's important to be passionate about it in the beginning.
I'm also going to say no, I did not see myself doing this. Truthfully, the career path I had after high school was just being like, one of those nomads who just live out their vans traveling all around the country. That's what I wanted to do. I just wanted to find some random ways to make money in some random state, then travel off to the next.
I think pretty much I had the idea of I wanted to go into the medical field. It's just I didn't think my life would have so many twists and turns to it and such a long journey to get to this spot eventually. But I think ultimately, yes, I did know what I wanted to do for the most part.
Perfect, perfect. So we have a question in the audience, real quick.
Everybody has been saying that.
So for our medical student on the panel, the question is, what is your focus? So
Okay, so I got my bachelor's in exercise science at SIUE. So at first, I thought I wanted to go into like cardiac rehab, PT, because it was a little bit easier, but ultimately, I knew it wasn't going to make me happy. So after I did that, I was like, let me just go ahead and apply to medical school and see what happens. I did a 1-year master's program, accelerated, got my master's in kinesiology, and then I was like, let me just jump into it because I'm wasting time. But ultimately, I think I knew I wanted to do this. So, but what was the question? So right now, I haven't been fully exposed to all the fields I can do, but like as far as what I've studied so far is like probably cardiology or maybe psychiatry, if my dad lets me.
perfect, perfect. So it's beautiful. Out in the audience, real quick, does anybody know what y'all want to do after high school? You got it. I'm gonna let you. Since you shook your head at me, you said real estate. Perfect. Anybody else? What you got, bro? Electrical engineering, real estate too. That's beautiful. So, one thing about it, you don't have to have it figured all out right now. That's the biggest thing. So, our next question for the panelists. Any questions? Any more questions before I go into this one? Good right now? Perfect. Next question. Did you feel the pressure coming out of high school to have to, achieve a lot and do a lot once you were graduating? So, did you feel the pressure and how did you deal with that?
Yes, I in fact did feel a lot of pressure because all of my time in school, I got asked that one question: what do you want to do when you grow up? And each and every time, I almost had just anxiety attack thinking about it. And my way of handling it was I didn't. I just pushed it off, didn't think about it, didn't even want to just acknowledge the fact that I would eventually have to just figure out what I had to do in my life.
I would say for me, I was definitely pressured, but I already knew that I had to go to college. My parents didn't go. My grandma's from Trinidad, so they don't like success to them looks a little different from what it looks to me. So I already knew that that was what I was gonna do, and I did. So
I would say I don't think there was pressure, but I think there was an expectation for me to do something later on after high school, whether that was finding a job, going to school, whatever the case was. But I think like thinking about it in that moment, it was a little like, okay, chill, y'all. I'm like just trying to graduate at this point. Like,
exactly.
so I think like in order to combat that, I did have to make some type of plan in order to look and plan for what I wanted to do in the future.
I do want to piggyback off of what you said. I did feel a little bit of pressure, but definitely, and what you said as well, just giving it to God. He's in charge of my life. So just making sure that I'm going with the flow, but still just being at his feet, and making him just the God of my life. So I'm excited, for absolutely. But I'm gonna be honest, I did feel pressure. But just to do something, regardless of if that's high school, I'm sorry, college or anything you decide to do, trade school, I think it's important to do what you love. So yes.
That's perfect. That flows right into the next question. With between the college, trade school, and anything else, just going straight into work, how did you come to your decision to do what you wanted to do and the path that you wanted to take right now?
I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't really a fan of school, like doing school. So I feel like real estate school. I thought it would be a shift. It's definitely different from the field, but I thought I fell in love with school again. Going to real estate school and doing something that I love intentionally. So it was kind of a no-brainer for me to just go straight to real estate school.
I will say that I knew I was gonna go to college. I really wanted to go to HBCU. So that was a big thing for me. And then I knew that I didn't want to stay in Chicago because that's where I'm from. I didn't want to stay down there and go to college. I wanted to go somewhere else.
So pretty much with it being college, trade school, and just going straight into work, how did you come to the decision to go down the path that you're going down now?
Well, I came to the decision because I'm going to be truthful here. I'm going after the money aspect because I want to have the money to actually be able to live comfortably and then chase some of the hobbies that I want to do because hobbies take money.
Just like also her, I pretty much knew that I wanted to go to college because also like if I'm being honest, realistically, I just didn't want to like get caught up in like the thought of like getting comfortable and not going after my passions if I didn't continue on and just do it. So like that's why I sometimes you just gotta force yourself to do it. If you don't, then you end up just not doing the things that you're passionate about. Just do it.
Perfect. So, as you see, there's a lot of different options for you. Just a little bit about myself. I'm 27. I went to school for broadcast communication and journalism. I found that calling senior year of high school. Before that, I wanted to be a zoologist. I wanted to be like the Black Steve Irwin, if y'all know who Steve Irwin is. That's what I wanted to do for a long time. I love animals, but once I found my calling with just using my voice in a different way, It led me to the path of broadcast communications and journalism, did podcasting, TV, did radio, host events and things like that. So it's never too late to figure out your passion and figure out what you want to do. And it's always a journey. It's a journey. Take your time each and every day. That's the biggest thing I can say is just take your time with it. It's not the end of the world if you're not figured it out. If you haven't figured out what you want to do right now, it's not the end of the world. Y'all are still young. Finish off senior year. That's the most important thing right now. Is just y'all finishing off this year and graduating. After that, you can figure out what you want to do after that, and it may change. I think they can all say up here, it's people that we all know and people we've met that start off one thing one semester, next semester they're doing something totally different. 2 years after that, they're doing something totally different. So it's okay. It is. You got to figure out what you like and what you want to do. So with that being said, what do you feel was the hardest adjustment after high school? Because a lot of times they tell us, what do you want to do? But then also they tell us that life really happens and really starts right after high school. It's the grown phase of life now. So what was the biggest adjustment you had to make after high school?
I would say moving here. I don't have any family down here, so it was really hard for me to adjust and make friends. College was also a hard thing too because I had to get up early in the morning my freshman year, and I'm not a morning person. I'd rather take my classes in the afternoon. So that would be something that was really hard for me.
One of the hardest things for me is when I moved out at 19, was trying to very quickly learn how to just manage my money and manage all of my bills to make sure everything was paid on time because growing up, my family just took care of all that. So going from being just babied, I'm going to be for real, to all of a sudden, like, nope, got to stand on your own 2 feet. You want food in the fridge? You got to go buy it. So I say that was hardest.
Yeah, I'd probably say the same thing. I think just the adjustment of being like not underneath your parents' roof, like if you choose to move out or if you choose to go away to college, whatever the case is you're an adult and you have to make your own decisions and you have to do what's best for you. So I think that was an adjustment as well.
I would say the hardest thing for me was just building up the confidence. I'm in a lot of spaces where I'm the youngest person in the room. So just making sure that I, have that confidence and I walk into spaces with my chin lifted up, I belong there. So just shifting, I do have confidence for that. Lifting your chin up when you walk into rooms because you belong there. You do.
So with that being one of the hard things, what's some benefits and what's some good things in life right now as being an adult? So what's something you can tell them as far as, them being seniors now that something to look forward to, I guess you can say, is about being an adult?
I would say just being young. I know a couple people said they wanted to tap into real estate. So being young, I feel like we have an advantage for marketing. Like people want to see you. People want to see your face and people want to just see how you operate and also just being yourself. When people choose you as their realtor, it's a big purchase. So they want to trust you and know that you're a real person and not just, you know what I'm saying? So that's important. Just be yourself.
Anybody else? You good? Perfect. So
I
you
was
want
going to
to
say, like she said, you're young. You have so much time. You can do whatever you want to do. At this point, travel, go move out of state, try a new job, try new foods, do what you want to do because you have the time to do it and the opportunity. So use that opportunity that you have.
And I'll say also, if you locked in, like right now, your senior year, you can get scholarships. You don't have to worry about having to pay for room and board. Like I'm on a full ride scholarship. I don't stay on campus. I have my housing paid for. So that's the benefits.
Picking back of what you said, I definitely second it. Go travel. If there's anything that you've been wanting to see that you just haven't had the chance to or haven't had the funds to, go do it. Go have fun. Go live your life. You're young. You'll bounce back.
all great answers. So one question I have for you all. What is an accomplishment that you're really proud of now that you're, at the age you are in the position you are in your life? What's an accomplishment that you could probably bring up and tell these students right now?
I'll go first. I published two poetry books. Two last year. I also joined the best sorority you can ever think of, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority And you know, I made the dean's list my whole entire time being in college. So those would be great things I'll say. Thank you.
I would say just going to real estate school, passing the test. I feel like you hear a lot about the test in itself. It's a mind game, and they're going to try to confuse you, but just just doing it, just going in, making sure you're confident and it'll work out in the end for sure.
Okay. I think one of my biggest accomplishments has to be the schooling that I did. It's not easy. Even like what I'm doing right now, it's not easy. I have to take 3 board exams. One of them I'm studying for now. But it's just been a long journey, and I'm really proud of the work that I have put in and the accomplishments that I have done. But also, I want to add on, like, I've lived out the country for like 2.5 years. So that was hard.
Where'd you live?
I lived in the Caribbean islands.
Oh yes.
That was for school though, but it was still nice. I'm not gonna lie, but it was still nice. But that was a huge adjustment period for me too. Like being down there by myself, 2,000 plus miles away from home. Like you have to be able to handle business and do what you need to do and be self sufficient. So
Me, it's not nearly as impressive as the other 3. I found what I wanted to do with my life, so I consider that a pretty big accomplishment. I want to be a baker, so in my free time, I bake for families whenever they have like little special occasions. That or just a little sweet treat for myself, you know?
That's amazing. That's amazing. Any questions in the audience right now? Anything? We have anything online? Miss Callie, can you check for me? So next question I'll go into is how important is it to network, and how important is it for you to have a great network around you?
It's so important.
You
It
can
is.
go, yeah.
I just want to say putting yourself in spaces intentionally to meet people and make connections even as young people. It's important to build a team. So get in contact with lenders, contractors, painters. You need a team in order to, to work and essentially have people work for you. So yeah, it's important to network and just put yourself in spaces, like I said, where your face can be seen.
It is super important to network because you never know who your next boss could be.
I would say it's important because I'll say last year, I got a $10,000 scholarship, and I just did some community service, and I didn't know the person, but I just helped them out. So it's important. You never know who will give you money.
Also just very important because like they said, like you just never know who knows who, and that could be the opening door for something else, to a bigger opportunity.
Right.
So just always, you never know who you're talking to, so always be kind,
Mm-hmm.
always be nice, because you just never know who knows who, and they could be like, oh, I know them, and they got a good head on their shoulders, and they cool.
Right.
So go ahead and give them that job, or go ahead and give them that money.
Right.
So you just never know who knows who.
And one thing I can also add to that: be confident. Put yourself out there. That's the big thing too as well. No question is a bad question, anything like that. So just make sure you're confident. Have your chin up. Talk to whoever you need to talk to. I know we have 2 questions online, so we'll get to those right now. You said it's what?
The question was volleyed at you.
Oh,
What's one myth about life after high school that you wish someone had corrected sooner?
there's a lot. There is a lot. I guess a big one might be that life gets easier. I think that's a big one. Because it essentially really it doesn't. It really doesn't, because that's from the real work and the real the real troubles and things like that, and the real test of your life really come into play. High school, it's being under high school, elementary school, middle school, high school. Pretty much a lot of stuff is taken care of for you. Once you get out of high school, it's either you're gonna do it or you're not gonna do it, and either life is gonna run over you, or you're gonna run the race and you're gonna do what you need to do. So it doesn't get easier, but you can make it a lot easier for yourself by making sure that you're putting yourself out there, being confident, and just making sure you have a plan for yourself, whatever that plan might be. So don't worry too much, but at the same time, make sure you know that if you don't put your 2 feet down and be 10 toes down, life can definitely run over you. I would definitely say that. So that's one big thing I can definitely say. I don't know if any of the other panelists have anything to say. Is that everything?
You touched on everything.
Perfect. Do we have another question? Is that one? Perfect. So let's get into one piece of advice that you could give yourself looking back at senior year of high school. What is some advice that you would give yourself at that point in time in your life?
I would say to write it down and make it plain. Just express yourself and whatever it is, no matter if it's a big dream or something you feel like you can't accomplish, to write it down, to establish that for yourself. That's important.
Well, I would tell myself is to take it slow. Don't stress out. You're still so young. Please just take it one day at a time, and you will find what you want to do very quickly, way quicker than you expected.
I would say not to let anybody dim your light. And I also would say manifest. Manifest is a big thing.
I would say also write it down, have a plan. You don't have to have everything figured out right now. You really don't. If you want to explore and do things that you thought you wanted to do here, then try it. Nothing beats a fail but a try. So just do it.
So we have a question right here.
So
So the question
for me,
So
Okay,
explain and manifest is the questions for all our people
like
online.
manifesting, basically like writing things down that hasn't came to like fruition yet. Just knowing in your heart that those things will happen. So that's what I would say manifest is. And speak it. For sure. Speak it over your life.
Perfect. Thank you for that. One thing I also add: have fun. Have fun. Don't ever stop having fun, because once you stop having fun, that's when the stress comes. That's when all the the troubles come, and now you're pretty much just living life, on a limb, honestly, because you can't. There's no time that you can stop having fun. So have fun, enjoy your life, travel. That was one of the big things. Travel, go explore the world, and just make sure you're good. Don't stop having fun in life ever. That's the big thing too. So any advice that you could give these students out here just about their next steps and things like that?
I would just say I want to piggyback off of just not dimming your light, using your gift that God has given you, and just be in spaces. Everyone has a different gift, and you're able to apply that in different spaces. So just making sure that you're confident. I feel like that's a big thing. Just confident in every single room you step in.
Well, I would say is figure out what you like to do, not what your friends like you to do, what your parents want you to do. Just figure out what makes your own heart sing whenever you do it. Whenever you just do this activity, like, yes, I love doing this. I want to do this constantly, over and over.
Just to piggyback off what she said, you can make your own legacy. You don't have to follow after anybody. Just do what you want to do. Make sure you live out your passions and be true to yourself, for sure.
Ooh, heavy on them. Be true to yourself, because this is your life. These are your decisions. This is something that you have to live with. So do what makes you happy in the end.
And also, I would also say, don't be afraid to try things. Don't be afraid to do different things. You can have one thing that you're mainly doing, whether it's being a realtor, but then it might be something else that you like doing that you can do in your free time. So know that you can have other options, and also, of course, with other options brings more income, different streams of income, which means more money in your pocket to do the things that you really want to do in life. So don't be afraid to do that. Do different things. You don't have to just stick to the one thing that you're doing. If you want to be a realtor, just as an example, but then you also might want to be a clothing designer too as well, or something else like that. Do it. Don't be afraid to do it. Put yourself out there and just make sure that you do all the things that you want to do in life. Because like the biggest thing that was just said is your life. The decisions you make, these are decisions that you make. So don't be afraid to step out there and do things, try things, and just see where it takes you. That's the biggest thing. So any questions out here in the audience? Any questions?
I know
Any
y'all got some
Got
questions.
to. Don't be afraid to ask them. No question is a
scared.
bad question. Perfect. The hardest part about college
The
was
hardest
the
part
question.
about college for me was actually willing myself to get up and go to class and doing the work.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about these 8 a.m. classes. And I know y'all hear it like 7 o'clock. But once you get to college and
gonna
it's
get
an 8 a.m. class, it's different for some reason. It's so hard to get up. That's what I think it is. Nobody's making you, there's no pressure. So if you want to skip, you can skip, which I don't suggest doing. I'm not condoning that. But there's a lot of freedom.
I would say the hardest thing for me is like finding my tribe, finding people who resonates with me. Yeah, that was the hardest part. But I found my tribe now. But my freshman year is like really lonely because I didn't want certain people around me because of how they were acting. I'm real picky when it comes to friends and allowing people in my space. It's a big thing.
Question. Question is, who is your motivation to choose the career path that you're on?
My motivation is my son because I want to give him just as good of a childhood as I had. So I gotta make that money somehow.
I would say my dad's brother and my uncle, they are all billionaires. All my family members, a lot of billionaires in my family. So, and they are all in business. So, billionaires. Hmm.
I have to say, just like my passion for so many years, just wanting to do this. Like I've always been like a person that's wanting to help other people. So I feel like me going into this career field is such an honorable career field to be in, and it's a hard journey, but it's always worth it in the end. And in the end, granted, this is delayed gratification because if you looking to go into medicine or any type of medical field, doctor, you're not gonna make money coming out of it. I'm just gonna be honest. It's gonna be later on, but you can't do it for the money. You have to do it because you like it.
Yes.
She said exactly what I wanted to say. Like in real estate, just being passionate about helping people. It's not the money is a plus, but it's not gonna come in the first couple years and school and the tests and everything you have to pay for. So it's important to be passionate about it and not just go in it for the check because that's not gonna benefit you. Everyone deserves to know that they can own a home. So just educating people, that's important.
Got two more. So pretty much the steps that got you to where you're at now. Mm-hmm.
I would say going out of high school, my mom knew this realtor in school. So I was connected with her right out of it. So in school, I had a little bit of help. But regardless, I just want to point out the fact that school is different from the field. So everything that you're learning is completely different. So just know that you're going to be learning with experience and not with the test and what you're doing. But yeah, it's important. Like we mentioned with networking, making those connections and just talking to people. Anyone can be a client, anyone can be someone that can help you or be an addition to your team. So just speak, use your voice. Mm-hmm. I would say just making genuine connections. I touched on a little bit earlier. No one wants to buy a house from someone that they just, like it's a really big purchase in your life. So they have to trust that person and know them. I know I got a call one time and it's like, I didn't think a lot of people would want to work with a young realtor because you need experience or that's what they say. But I have a team, that helps me. So picking the right brokerage is very, very important. That has training and just agents you can pick their brain. That's important, But did I answer your question? Okay. Yes.
straight go to college?
I did night classes for real estate, and I wasn't in the field for real estate. So I think my classes were 4 to 9, like 2 weeks, just in and out. It was, but I wasn't in the field at that point. I was just on the internet. There was a lot of people that you can learn from, on the internet, and people young just like you. So just those connections. I feel like I keep touching on that, but that's very important.
Perfect. So we'll take one more question real quick, and then we'll close things up. So we'll go right here, right here. It's for the people online so they can hear you. How hard was it to get to where you are now? So that's a question for the panelists.
I'd say pretty hard. I stumbled and fell a lot trying to figure out what I wanted to do in my life because like I mentioned earlier, I just put it off for so long. But I feel like once I at least got one good foot on the ground, I was able to pick myself back up.
I'll say maintaining straight A's in high school and then having to go to college and maintaining that too is it's really hard. But if you have the determination and you have that self-discipline, you can do it for sure.
I'd probably say it was hard, but it's doable. Like if you have that grind in you that's just like just do it, then it's doable. It's gonna be hard sometimes, but there's gonna be some easy parts too. So yeah.
I feel like it was hard for me just because being in school, I wasn't a very good test taker. Like I got nervous just being around people getting up and just distracting me. So when I took my test and I ended up passing it, like I mentioned before, it's a mind game. They word things differently, and it's like you really have to sit down and take time to figure out, what they're trying to get out of you. But I actually took my test in my room, and I passed when I was, where no one was around me. So it worked out that way for me. But I will say the hardest part was just the test. Now you can just be yourself, make those connections, and have fun. So.
Perfect. So any closing remarks, any extra advice that you all want to give before we close this thing out?
I'll say make sure you're giving back to the younger generation, and also don't let fear get in your way. And chase your dreams always.
I would say don't let the fact that you're young, don't let that discourage you, because I'm in a lot of spaces I mentioned before, just where there's a lot of older people, a lot of older agents, and you can be frowned upon, just because you're new or you're young. So take that as an advantage, like we are in this season where tech is huge, being able to market yourself is huge. So, take advantage of that.
I would say put good out in the world because once you turn 18, it's like a switch in life suddenly flips, and now everyone wants you to try and just be down, be grumpy, be stressed.
Exactly.
So, like, do good. Help out a neighbor if you see them struggling, or like help an old woman across the street.
I agree with that. Be a good person, chase your dreams, continue to explore, be young, have fun, live life. That's all. Don't be a sourpuss or nothing like that.
That's perfect. One big thing I can also say, challenge yourself. Challenge yourself. Always keep learning each and every day. It's never a bad time to learn, and learning never stops. And that's the biggest thing. I think they can all say this on this panel. Learning never stops. So please be yourself, challenge yourself, and just do what you want to do. That's the biggest thing. Do what you want to do. Any avenues that you want to tackle, go into it with your head held high and just do your thing. Challenge yourself. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
So let's see here with you.
I just wanted to say, she said these two words that it's going to be very important to understand life. You said delayed gratification.
Yeah.
Can you explain? Because if they understand what that is, it's going to help when the hard times come.
Yes.
So what is delayed gratification?
Delayed gratification.
Delayed gratification is you can't go into something with the mindset of, okay, just because I started it, I'm going to get the benefit of like somebody who's been in it for like
Yeah.
20, 40, 30
Exactly.
years.
Mhm.
You have to work your way into that, and you have to put in the work also to be able to get the same benefits.
Mhm.
So when it's hard and you like, man, I'm tired of doing this. I don't want to do it no more. Why am I doing
Yeah.
this? You have to be able to think back and remember that like, oh, okay, in the end, it's going to look like this.
Yep.
It's not
Oh,
not
wait.
quick.
Can I say, don't have an expectation of what it's going to look like. You know, if you're
Yes.
not expecting something, then you're not disappointed in it.
That part.
So let me.
Beautiful. We ended off just like that then. Please give it up for our panelists today. Thank you all for being here today, giving all the wisdom and knowledge that you guys have for these students. For you all, please give it up for yourselves for being here and asking the questions that you all did. For all our people online, thank you for tuning in with us. We have some announcements real quick, and I think Miss Callie Ingram is going to come back up here. So please give it up for Miss Callie Ingram once again.
Y'all again. Give it up. Congratulations to all y'all for just sitting and just being attentive to all of this, because there was so much good information and insight that was given on today. So thank you again for all our panelists on today. Let's give them a round of applause again. Yes. And to our moderator, Caleb Camp, of course. Of course. So I'm going to just announce our online winner and our in-person winner of our gift cards today. So our online winner is Janae Wallace from Long Middle School, and our in-person winner today is Marcus Williams. So let's give them a hand clap on today. Yep, go back to you, Caleb.
All right, so once again, this is our Virtual Transferable Skills Seminar, VTS, making sure that you guys are good life after college, graduating. So never hesitate to do the things you want to do. Challenge yourself. Continue to put your best foot forward, and just be you. Be you and do your thing out here. So for all the people online, we appreciate you guys for tuning in with us here at McCluer Senior High School. We appreciate y'all for allowing us to be here with you all. Miss Smith, thank you to you and the administration team. And once again, this is VTS, and we'll see you guys soon. Thank you.